Okay, so once we have Docker installed, you'll get this window here. So, and Docker, of course, is running. So don't worry about this for right now. We're just going to minimize this here with the little yellow, or you can just move it to the side. Okay, then the other step that you followed on the website with the instructions is to download the element-node-docker.zip folder or file. So here we'll just click on the file. What it's going to do is it's going to unzip it, and you'll see this little folder here that says element-node-docker. So here we can click and drag it over to our desktop. And we can close this. Okay. We'll open this up, and then we'll look for the readme.md. So click on that, right click, go to open with, and then TextEdit. So here these will be the instructions. Most importantly, we have some commands here that we'll want to copy and paste. So we'll just follow that there. Okay, first step is to open the file named .env, and we're going to want to replace the email with the email that we used for our element account that has the nodes that we purchased, along with another section that says password. So I'll show you what that looks like. So here, env, right click, open with, and then text edit. I'm going to increase the font size here a little bit, make it easy to read. So right here, you're going to see this little section, email. So this is where we put in our email. So you can highlight it and do backspace. Make sure the equal sign is there and that there's no space between the equal sign and the email. This goes along for the password. So that way you don't get an error. So you put in your email here, and then in the password, highlight, backspace, and then put in your password. And then once that's done, you go to File and then Save. Once we got it saved, we can just close this, and we'll go on to the next step. So next will be to create an image. So what I'm going to want to do is go to Terminal, and you can do Command Space to bring up Spotlight, and then type in Terminal. This is the fastest way to get to it. There we go. I just increase the font a few times there. Okay, so here we're going to want to do is access what's in this folder. So we moved it over to the desktop. So what we're going to do is cd space desktop. So right here you'll see it says desktop. So it means we're accessing the desktop through terminal. So do ls. That shows us what's on there. So we're going to actually go into the folder element node docker. So we'll do cd element node docker. Okay. If it says element node docker there, we are good. So we're going to do next is this command right here, docker build. I'm going to highlight this. Make sure just that portion right there is highlighted. Do Command C on your keyboard to copy. Then come over here, make sure this is clicked, and that shows gray. Command V to paste. So it'll show that right there. Then we do enter. And this is exactly what we want to see. Means 10 out of 10 finished, means it was successful. So right here, then for the next step, says for each node that you want to set up, you run the following commands. So with this step, we usually recommend running your nodes locally. Our preference is if you have light nodes. So running through this process once will support up to 100 light nodes. Or you can do a smart node as well, and you run through this each time with a different name for each smart node that you have. Of course, for smart nodes, our recommendation is using a virtual private server like DigitalOcean, NerdFabric, Vultr, because it can run in the background most of the time pretty easy. And it takes a little bit more power to run. So that way you can just leave your computer to run these freely. But here are the instructions. This applies to either smart nodes or light nodes either way. Okay, so for example, we're going to run, here's some examples, element node volume 1, volume 2. So this would be for your smart node 1, smart node 2, smart node 3, for example. You can name it whatever you want. Just make sure to keep in mind what each one is for. So next you create a volume to store your config file. So here we'll do docker volume create element node volume 1. And again, you can rename it what you'd like. Hit enter. Okay. Nothing's going to appear, but it doesn't give us any error feedback, so that's good. It's exactly what we want. Okay. So then, once that's set there, we're going to, here on the instructions, run this once to create a container. Afterwards, you can see it on the Docker desktop and restart if needed. So this is what it'll do. Copy all this right here. There we go, just that portion. Command C. Go back to this terminal, make sure that's gray, so it's highlighted in there to paste. Command V to paste. Enter. Okay. Then it gives you this code right there. Don't worry about that. Didn't give us an error file. Things are good. So once this is set here, now we can go back to Docker and we're going to see element node 1 right here. So this means that installed correctly, and what we want to look for here is running. So this means your node is running on your computer, which is good news. So then you'll want to make sure just to log into your Element website and wait about an hour to make sure that it's showing that your node is running, that it's active. So here we go. This is good. And then you can always just stop it if you want or delete it. My recommendation is you can just have it up here normally. And then if you want to be done running it, you can always quit Docker. And then you can open it up when you want to run it and make sure that it says running. If not, we'll have a little run button there or play button. And that's how you get your nodes on Docker running locally on your computer.